the British High Commissioner go visit former President Koroma. Elizabeth Walker say the president of Sierra Leone and Leone. Okay. But before that, we see outside the UK Minister for Africa. He pay a courtesy call on President Bill. According to status, they said the UK Minister for Africa he be pay courtesy call to President Bill and he be praise President Bill for development na the country. You hear me? The UK Minister for Africa he praise President Bill say development the inside salon. But there are whose development? Whose one? And light? Now water? I make her tell you say the thing the way we want who they cry for. Different. The one them what the politicians they want. Different from the one we want. So what thing then they see, nothing we they see. Status say the UK minister praise President Bill in leadership and say he don't see some remarkable development in the country. But they are still this woman come out salon. Who still come out salon for make it come, he can't tell we say in see remarkable development in the country. Na the country. Remarkable. In I see what you no see. Or what me no see. You know? Victoria Grace Ford, when a British politician, tell the president thank you because we don't do beaucoup reform. So are those the developments? He said then reform then they go add to the attainment of modern democracy. The Free Quality Education Initiative was particularly crucial, especially with premium on women and girls. Now then they pursue and course them and science and higher institutions of learning. See there, yeah? Okay. There. So you know the reason. Okay, now they go. Your Excellency, would say thank you for your leadership. This is so amazing. Even in the midst of coronavirus, you be able for do what in beaucoup developed countries then not be able for do. This is not the right thing for do. Una be able to get one-stop center. God nine sabi di munku. The gender empowerment law, the sexual offense model court, the repeal of the seditious libel law, and most importantly, the abolition of the death penalty, she noted. So these are the developments they are talking about. When the Pumui they don't praise you that kind of praise, you need to talk about you. You just they melt like fine per mind. No, you answer them like this. I tell you thank you. Because you can't visit we. And all what you don't they do for support we country. Salon na be a beacon of stable democracy. and other African country them. And they watch we now one be like we. But they are UK Minister for Africa. With all the developments they want to see, why make British Airways not go salon? With this development we they praise, why make una country career not go salon? Me now ask you. You say waiting? You know what I say? I say from Ebola, where British Airways left for going to our country. The one in the UK, just 6 hours flight for go saloon. Pass them get for transit. Why not able to get direct flight from the UK to saloon? And you say you don't see development at the country. Okay, we agree, say, then first one there, they're not there again. They're not there. They were are they now. And the development, they woo. They feel like they enjoy. But they on a couch on a plane back, yeah? Or big. Do ya? Now big me the big no more. President Bill say, despite waiting this COVID-19, waiting Ukraine and Russia then deeper, we know say it get a effect on economies there around the world. But we in a saloon, we not use that as an excuse for we not make change and bring development in our country. That's what President Bill tell you, man. That's what tell her. He say, par all COVID-19 day, par all where Ukraine and Russia, they pa da den dakadeke business so den pa. We in a salon. We not use that as an excuse for we make change and development in our country. Madam UK Minister, hey, go watch President Bio in speech in Parliament. This last one. There. Go watch him. There you go see if he not be used this as an excuse. Not to me say, a President Bio say he not use Ukraine and COVID-19 as excuse for make developments and make change then at the country. May I just let the minister go watch President Bio be the tell in a parliament. What he tell we see? But yeah. And Ikuma Musa say the way me they read the news, they make it laugh over and that's so funny. When like some people not can laugh then they verse. Pantiki pule, potiki pule. What's it mean, Sabi? I know they break and down so that we all go able to understand that. Over the last 4 years, me government, me President Bio, I don't champion gender equality issues them. And I put on my hat in the new direction agenda. Yay! Okay. All right. The new gender empowerment bill, it gets a commitment to 30% of public appointments who forget to woman them. Even the Answer for Our Girls initiative, when me own darling wife, Dr. First Lady, oh sorry, when they take for tackle child marriage, sexual violence through public awareness, and advocate for stronger sentencing and for making end female genital mutilation for the one the way they under 18 years. All this one we don't they do. Make me wave. So with all what una self say, with all what me self don't say, do ya? I want to ask una for something. You know, because I let ask you for that thing. It's una be there we talk yesterday. He said, I want to ask una for something. For do ya? Make una go support we. Because we get the new Agri-Tech for Africa partnership. Oh, they try for adopt and want to do rapidly of agricultural technology and innovation, specifically tailored for the needs of the African smallholder farmers. Now we name they don't begin go so back. Then they don't begin go so. He said because if we get this one, it go able to meet the food needs of Africa and the world. Until you know say, na minister for Africa, so now I make we want for ask, put salon name no more. Use salon name bigger no more. For Africa. Now I do am. Agri-Tech for Africa partnership. He said this one go help agricultural technology and innovation. It go help. The word no bad. The mommy say it don't hear. Wait till you see. Wait till you see. But dear, with all the development we see, let them try and make British Airways begin go back na salon. And then no mommy they ask come for. Former president in say Lisa Chisney it be stop over na in Makeni residence. Okay. And then we get a closed door meeting. And the former president be say this particular meeting it be fantastic. Not only fantastic, me say it be vimtostic. I just don't get a fantastic discussion with the British High Commissioner, Lisa, on emerging national and international political developments. So now talk on waiting. International, national, political development. All right. And he be glady. Hey. Okay. Oh. All right. Janet Matamusa, I don't see her. Okay. So, Vicky Ford. All right. We will collaborate on science and research for take forward with shared goals of peace, progress, and prosperity. All right. That's what Vicky Ford didn't say. So now I don't want to talk. Imagine national. What do you hear, sir? Now thank you. But what that thing then they will happen. But I make you safe, what you call, even the one way me no rub multiple. You self able to rub multiple, you know that? Eh? You don't know that? It's a boulot. Eh? You know, say Leon Stars don't reach. That no, can get some from Daniel Oldfield. They don't reach Nigeria right now. Hmm? They don't reach Nigeria. They go for play Nigeria. And the free sanity pad. Eh? President Bureau and First Lady for commemorate the menstrual hygiene day. They launched the 2022 free sanity pad distribution. And the back will happen inside the week. Doctors were bleeding. He blast the mayor. I don't know if you don't hear that one day. You know you hear it. We don't deal with the ACC Scorpion Squad. Now ACC say the principal all them be arrested. We don't hear that one day. We get 12 officials and 22 players for the under 17 international friendly who they play Morocco. 12 officials now then go. 22 players friendly. Per DMD, so why not? We don't do the suspension of the timber logging. There was a piece where say diaspora appointees them, and then they ruin the country economy. Maybe next week we go deal with that piece then. Diaspora appointees them, and then they ruin the country economy. Alright. Police be charged 125 drivers them go court for various traffic violation them. All and they happen inside this week. Waiting again. Okay, I think I'll go left Fire Force. Now come with Tony. Make we hear what you get for you. Welcome on board, Tony Toye Jones. You get the platform.
Yeah, Abraham, thanks for having me. Kushe Kabo Fambulem. I wish you a blessing weekend. Just like how somebody me they say just now where they conclude. You say that do me or do you politics and make salon they be. And they yeah talking and they do me or do you politics. I just want to draw attention to people that way they support this census or we probably not sympathizers of this government within power. You understand? I mean, can always say one thing: if government work, you no need for do kuku jumuku, you no need for begin do dabaru business or forgery or this or that for make you win election. We've seen it subsequent elections. There. Where you work, you deliver. You don't need for begin forge figure. You don't need for begin this because the people themselves know say this government. The way I don't see them, they work so. I need for make them continue. So then go down and project the don't start. People go vote for you. The thing I want for draw the attention of people that they support this whole thing right now is then they cry say when the past administration, APC, did their own census in 2015, the figures that they report for the southeast, they undercast them figures then they, which is not show the true figure of the population where they live in the area, which means they not count people them. Or the figures, they inflate the figures them in a certain side in the north, and we make the population and this and that, we make it this. When that 2015, where they conduct that election, a lot of business system they go on upline. A lot of business in the north. You have, then you get Lodo mining. You get Africa Mineral, you get Danos, you get this, Bombuna, all inside they put local, Losa, all full up, mining they go on. You understand what I mean? All inside and they full up. But if boss you no want talk through, you understand what I mean? Even Pepel, that's another, you know, now Pepel on the ship, population they within the area and they. The North was so lucrative. Then period that 2015, the mining was booming. And that's it. They get plenty mining companies that with me there. Not to just like now with the some of them they start. So there was so many activity, so much activity, so many employments that they had before even Corona. You understand? Because now within that period, Corona, what's it called? So many of just I don't think back the past administration, but even if they inflate them figures, then the last election where they create all boundaries and other constituencies, you know, help. At the end of the day, people voted against them for one reason, because people tired of the system, people gains with what they happen with the government, people gains. So this now for level you say, if you know learn sense from what happened in that last election, APC did whatever they want to do. But at the end of the day, they give money, then appease that, then we see people, then they give t-shirts and money. At the end of the day, the people power, the people's will, when they then gets the power. Now then they go na money, wake na money. Somehow when they ask who they support, so not get man go na foot on go register and vote. Now the people that when they on the ground, when they suffer, now they get for waking na money 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. We don't vote na salary, no what it mean. When they wake up morning, go team out, they even put stone. People they put stone in a line. Now they get the power. So if the people me, I don't say this several times now. If you don't work for the people, when I get for vote for you tomorrow, you understand what I mean? For a lie, then they pull you. Then they pull you. I like you make the figure say the population where they boy and can might pass all sign of the world. Then they pull you if you don't work. We politicians get for learn lesson. This do me and do you politics no go solve situation as alone. It no go solve situation. You know they run for go run with they call even when somebody tell you say no, an office say una prepare well. An office say the parameters are well set, una put structures in place well. If una continue this thing, it no go come out, the output no go yield proper dividend. It no go able for satisfy the main is the way we want for see. They pull out say, okay, we know they go na fund. But because you get until your motive, you get what you want to do, you say, no, we go ahead with the do it. And then look at all the things there. For me, it's like a taxpayer, waste of taxpayers' money. Money we for don't use for do other thing. When they for don't even use for plan the country. When they for don't use for even probably that money they for don't do for build hospital. We see tablets and people they strike all day. We see people that the tablets and they are bug. Now the emulators and sesame they talk. Not over saying they put more than the political party. We see so many strike actions. Then people then they question the credibility. So people they say, hey, now I'm saying now that people don't know. That now that they discussion Andy. I feel say APC go get themselves for blame Pandandy. You understand? But let we be true with ourselves. Let we afraid God small. This get all they get but they don't go nothing. For the sake who's can't talk they will not talk. Who's what you go with? When I don't make you happy up mosquito, they always don't make my happy. Who side then go with her? This one thing always not they go master dunya fool. They get. Who side you go with her? What you get for go with tomorrow? Now, what you do good to your country? What you do or not now? Now you go with. Not all this motoka we they drive. We don't drive motoka before they die. They been kill like kid and then I will cheer. Then sit down one place. Then they were top on themselves. Then they do. We don't see another country. We don't see them. So you want to satisfy yourself. You don't know how. You know how to look at the masses. People in they die of common sickness. Money when they get us, when they take us, so they be state of the art. So we gladly show this. How beginning outside here, we come from money when they don't get us from APC, then they can build a diagnostic center. We all glad it was a brilliant idea. Then I went to call emotional intelligence. When you don't need rocket science for let them tell you the needs of the people. We don't see until today. Before that, they count a private company, they can't tell the government, they can't partner with a company. What about our own? Anybody who don't go Guinea, then get hospital, we don't all say all, they call them Duncan Hospital. My mama work na Duncan Hospital. You know what the government of Guinea do? They don't refurbish the whole hospital. They don't make them to standard. They don't get everything on it. Now they're looking for a partnership with a private company for let them partner for let them owner. So government still get shares, and then go corners. I just come out salon. Post no need for 10 weeks in the happy salon because I come out salon February. I just come out salon back last week. Look, we don't corner to they talk about government, your government, your government. Quite filthy. Look, mosquito away boku. I go fair post now. So mosquito, the blood market and boku shown at the wall. This now we call common sense. And anything the people need. That money the way you take to go put consensus way not relevant. If now you don't take build institutions them, you don't put up an institution that we need capital. Probably for the year dividend, more people for don't get job. But you have to make sure, okay, we have to win next election. Then tomorrow now, if God make you not win, we begin soon back like a cockroach where they run a gutter. Just the cow they see some of the APC politicians when they no, don't shame. So man, they shame now. Because the students self media like they wire. Me kak inside Prado, they say black motor car, tint all the glass, and see the blower. Now then they run a gutter like a cockroach. We go see the same thing back for happen in 2023 if they're not fair with the conscience. People they suffer. When they take out of malice, out of this, out of that, you go now, you see people they stray for transport. You see people they stray for transport. Things are common sense. Don't need for you see government you get for invest in public transport. If that money you take put consensus, you go put on public transport. If for them people that will say yes, at least this government they work. Guinea, the guy you see traffic lights. They will say, Olabu pass Guinea. Oh, this pass Guinea. Oh, this Guinea that this. Oh, Guinea that this. Guinea get traffic lights. You the driver stop. I see traveler stop. I say, wow. Keke na Guinea, the side of and get chain. If you not get chain, you pay 750 francs for safety hazard. You get chain at the side, Keke. All mandatory, all keke. Those are the common sense, emotionally. When I say people don't get empathy, you get this, you get initiative, you get this. They encapsulate what they call emotional intelligence. How you go treat you, how you feel for the masses. These people do not get one basic things. The only thing where they all busy about, that's why I forget PhD. One people at the time say, don't know what a paper doctor back today. What would they see? It's just like getting this, not this one, oh, not this one. No, people they suffer. People they really suffer in that country. They go say now to today suffer begin. But this is the expectation why people voted for this government because they know say certain things don't know me right. That's democracy. We get the right for change you if we think that things are not going fine. People they think no, they go all right with me. And that mandate will not stop. These people still have the same mandate to make the same decision come 2023. If things are not going right, we dey see in Ghana. The man who can connect to a camp with a corner one time you do in Ghana, then pull her. I know they say this government go do one time, but make them reason, make them go back to the drawing board. Waiting, let them put a glass down and see how people they suffer. Early morning, 2:00, you see people in the street, they fair water. Now some people they hold buckets so picking out for the sleep because they for go school. They hold buckets in the fair water. Early morning, bruh. 2 in the morning. They go for go Tiba back again. Now line the fed for transport for go school. 5 o'clock in the morning. People then they rush back. We see that process and they thief people there. Like a 2 man the way they run for go the Duff Court in the morning. Bus no they public transport no they. Then they suffer. Now so thief man they back the finger pockets there. They go thief the money. You go up a clock tower. You go see the cry ready. Who that do not figure pockets who that don't want this. So many things that they happen at the country. You ask all this money when they gather, all this funding coming in, all these resources, all these taxes, and these governments have generated more taxes than any other government that are country. More taxes. What are they doing with all this money? Is it that all the money they're going to salary, wages and salary and allowances? Because that's not the reason we make some capital project or not they go on. Most of the projects, that's what they see. When they wait and call commission. These are other people giving us money, helping us. Even independence, all the things where they line up. Now give them, give we. And they actually say, what till we they do with real money all together? What till they do? Just salaries and allowances for themselves. It's hard. You go on the ground, you know somebody they support where you know so you they go now the grow you they see. No, then an optic they are latif. The country people they suffer. Basic things they know they. If those basic things they what they talk about, we available. If you know me available, I then country out in the world. Some of we don't go back. Now, the basic things they do, we dey talk about water, lights, good road, medical. The basic things then they know what they talk about. People don't ask for too much. I want sick if I broke my foot, I'm going to hospital. They never for treat me for broke foot. Not just I reach in hospital, they tell me, oh, this will not go able for cut the foot. The polar thing they kill people there. Diabetes na salon, it's like say na kind sick way, you will not they kill. As you see the way they say na diabetes, or go cut into. The polar thing they kill people there. Medicine all day. People they suffer. You know, then we when they do na diaspora they support. Then we dey afraid God say, we know they go with nothing. The only thing when they go with you now, you good work in this world. People they suffer in that country. Then they do census, so now they support. What you do census for? For allocate resources. You want to tell me say, Bo and Kenema, Bo when that Kenema, that anger road no more. When I don't know more, you see crowd, that anger road. Now they can't tell me say, the crowd no more na Kisi road in more than the entire Kenema. The crowd na Kisi road. Now they can't tell me say anger road. When I didn't know more, you see people there who say the clock Saturday. Because at the most congested street down there. Then they can't tell me say them Boku pass waiting. If you talk both you better. Because you go say university they Boku people they go there for go study. But you tell me about Kenema, look free to how much people they where they free to. Look the population of free to. Somebody say okay, they don't build people don't build the dog book. But then people they don't born picking there. They're not born picking the population not stagnated in Africa. People then they born picking more in Africa past any side of that the country. More areas you see more areas than they develop na Africa. I mean, I just want to steal the show, but people they suffer. Now we get to our mind say, if this government don't work for the people, then they pull it. Like how they pull a piece, so they pull it. Then they pull it. I like to inflate this figure. They inflate some time where they open tax or whatever, on the waiting constituencies or this or more. Then they pull them, don't work. Then they pull them clean. Because international community involved in this election. They're very critical. How them involved when APC be in power. Now so they get for involved back and see that the election go peacefully, nobody no rig. They make at the talent center. Then they always did it, then they monitor the inputting system. They always. The network, they make sure say the system network to the main server so that they see how then they input those figures. So they're not going to manipulate because they've invested so much in salon. If it's all in grants and aid that they give, now for nothing. Then they now bets and they give for make them able to control you. Because tomorrow when you do the whole election, then they monitor. You don't go tell us say no when I go. No. They've given you, they've invested their money, they've invested a lot of resources. So you main server, they make sure say then they monitor. American embassy they monitor also because if Kuskas for another country, it go affect the embassy, it go affect the staff, the whatever where they go. Anything happen aside, it go affect a lot of international community where get offices stars alone. And they've invested a lot of resources. So nobody knows if say, oh, this order make this answer. So how they read the election with 2023. Mohamed Bangura talk past you. What's the Mohamed Bangura not say? It's APC going in power for 50 years. Who side they do like it today? So now we learn from history. Now we learn from history. People they suffer now, salon, bro. People they suffer. When you go here for the hide, because people are needy. Beg from airport. Say you take speedboats, they reach with you now, buddy. All man they beg. All man they beg, bro. Like the lifestyle, it's like the modern trend in this 21st century. Bigger from number one, take out the power they work for nothing. Where they go, all this waka, where they waka, they count something. We need for big with all the resources where we get. We need for the go big, with all what we get in a salon institution, and then they suffer with the missed opportunities. Things that want for investment, where other countries they make money per. Now we take with the give to foreigner, with the give to this. Then would they say, hey, we're not getting out to the country this. Well, we almost population with it. With the census, we then just go, we're not even reach 80 million today. We're not even reach 80 million according to them. With all what's in the Canada country that they generate. We salon for be like other Dubai, for be like paradise. People in the land book, people in they go to the country, they invest. Look the amount of remittances. People investing money in a salon. People in they send money in a salon. I mean, Abraham, I mean it's sad. I'm your take, Abraham.
All right, thank you
sad.
very much, Tony.
You're welcome.
Look out, us friend. Lewe, waiting na yon summary for the week. Welcome on board the screen. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Triple A, for giving me the platform. And thanks to all the listeners and viewers them, and thanks to the source, and thanks to the relentless effort. I want to say the political tension and developmental plans, they bang each other now we place. The political tension, elections, and then the draw near, and then the see development they can inside, but it is planned and it is say forthcoming. So we don't know which one we the development plans they will go for suffice all this tension of the political pressure. Because some of them development for come, it will only come in terms of waiting una put na the plate for let the people and go able to forget based on the donors they wanna they rely on. So here comes now this issue, one of the main thing we don't talk about today more is only the political tension. We not to do with discounting, we they rely on this COBO system. And we know say there has been a lot of drop is regarding this particular statistics and census. But we know say again it's vital because essential for letting them be able for know people the amount. And then you dey see the other tension again in development plan, they come aside where you see government, they say, look, we'll try make a plan, look, we'll make a strategy, or look, we'll write kind of project so that we will get this particular thing here. We see an example like the land tenure system will be done they go on for long. Or then you say, well, we'll get roads and other things they want to make, we get plans and for do. Or the school, the health centers them, look, bring people in for can do this, or look, bring people out for can do their own business. But all they jam with political tension and the measure. So you find out say most of the thing what they're missing here. And two things. The positive side, the people are able for conserve. In other words, leaders, institutions, for them not go able for conserve cultures them. What are they culture? Watching the good one and then they remove the bad cultures. So you conserving the good ones and removing the one that we not good. The one they win are the good one then, and they try now for say, well, we try for making and letting good, so we write projects. So here comes the challenge now of the government, how they go able for pilot way through this tension or this particular kind of chaotic time. We not too chaotic as a chaos, but chaotic in a war of words. People in the tension under they say no, it's not one day because waiting there right now, where they pick up everything, where they on top of everybody in headlines that in news that the issue of this census and statistics. So, but when you come to national development as a leader, you will consider say that things that we are going for do in consultation. You will think of things who are going for discuss. You will think about things if I get the resources, and you will think of the immediate impact and the long running impact. Because when you do all this culture, you look out for the good side of the culture, and what you try for maintain, you try for maintain that long standing way we be say this you go able for restore hope and the people then. So if we go directly now to the issue of let we say now this money we don't come inside for let them go do land tenure system. You go see say yes, now the cow can suggest say let people are then go able for create ideas to go take something or then get something from this and they can make this. But if I say then making that strategy, yeah, most times they can picture in easy access way what they know say there has already been a framework. What do I mean here? This particular 41.1 million with the World Bank don't give, so we know there was a time ago contribute here regarding this land tenure system. It don't begin 2015, I believe so. And when it begin 2015, the Germans have been on the sponsor again with the one day we they see so on the Food and Agricultural Organization. Why they don't bring this Tiana for let people then go able to get access, inclusiveness, because then they try for let them go make dependency, not get food hunger, let people then become independent. So access for land go there because they find out say some of the areas then are the customary land. The people then get issues of land tenure, so they were able to get access to their land for do how they were able to preserve them and use them for letting them make food sufficiency because a food and agricultural organization. So when they don't see this for years back when they don't do their survey. So the plan be done the team we don't get how many pages of structure. In fact, when they structure that they call them land governance assessment framework. one of the LGAF, then let me get you know one of the voluntary guidelines on the responsible governance of tenure, one of the VGGT. Because if you go now the mining website, Keketoma, you go see where you put these two abbreviations. So but these two, if you go to that particular thing, they what I mean do the act, what I mean do now the 2015, you go find out say the land tenure system that we want for them will develop but waiting them in picture, they more. Then when they talk about inclusive of traditional leaders, they mention and they so they mention about technical working groups, including the dialogue we then go do with the one day we there for involved. So these are the key areas that maybe don't they? So all what thing they do now for just escalate. The other was just like what you want for catfish, they can get people who can go, or let's say the one they can do that net farming and net hunting. They can go now, they can then bush shoot and get the net so they can put now a particular corridor, then tight them, then they can pull the dog inside and scatter. So anyone who can the net they make. So something like this, now the strategy what the government do, what they say, well, let us tickle so they go be aware, see there is something. And at some point we see they engage the traditional leaders, but then they engage them with a different concept to them be used. So we don't know if they will draw this as an attention. So well, we don't even contact the leaders then. But here, then they talk about, remember, now voluntary guidelines would they look responsible. But here then just forget inclusive of the leaders and one of the local for customary. So it will be say that from that particular framework in 2015, they replicate them, adjust them, and finally push them forward. Because it has already been there. There's nothing more they will go fight again for right, all they get for do, that's what say when they think this, but before this thing will give now go enact them, now so and so. But for now we enact like this we need so that we go able for develop. Because now food the engineer look again always when the donor partners they can get certain windows and they can put them money then they can put them just like one have been getting an advertisement. If people have been going on our website, the student they put the requirements, then go apply, they go get them because you go look like the website is here. So that's we don't see them again. Not for see something in favor directly, but you go see say this fund is still there because we put out maybe for 5 years project. In the 5-year project, we don't put out, nobody not take her. So una write something we meet up with her, we will take her, we'll give her. But some of these grants, we don't know more if some of the grants actually when they come up from the World Bank. Because we don't get a window, people and we don't alert we say. Some of these grants are different names and they give them. They actually grant as grant, but sometimes there is always a code behind it. But that one day we will leave out for the IMF discussion and other areas there. So but being that has been in place, when I can't hear what they say, when then they do conservation and changing of laws, then they think of areas them when are immediate. You go think now say the 41 million, the FAO we don't actually plan say let we get this. Then we don't see say the United Nations they don't move back. Then that they not they go begin to develop farmers then. They see them they push forward. So you therefore look now. The farmers they want for develop UN they come inside with UNDP. Then you see these projects they come inside, but not to do with land tenure system. But the land tenure system now more for let people and get access for land and the SDGs then whatever you don't put some of them can draw them come inside it. So it left now how them go able to transform this 41 million into something substantial for let it go replicate waiting really then be aim for the land tenure system. Not to the land tenure system no more where they give permission for let person build, or the land tenure system where they help the farmer so that he go able to get access to a land. A land tenure system where they go identify say this land the money get them. But because of sometimes you know can get money, the land it can left them. So the chief they take this land they get other person. Then they get other person in the end, what's going to happen? Then they go sell the land now, maybe that's somewhere you don't open something there, or you don't build a house there, or anything can be, or maybe the person not even get the particular crop where you go grow there for let you go get something when a reliable thing will develop the country. So that the main thing where I would just encourage the government for say let them not go too much on the structure of land tenure. The act we don't do, they already enough for passing a parliament enact. All they get for think about now those farmers, how they roads they find, how they go able for look at the land, how they go reserve the land, how they go do that land preservation, how they go able to do irrigation, how they go able for do seed preservation. The seed them go preserve for the next season. This all now encapsulate because at the end of the day, not to just for let the man get the land, he preserve for a food agriculture, now for let you know how they use the land, that land tenure, how you go able to forget a big land where today you go plant here this particular thing, you go and go plant crops, they want an annual one, then you go do intercrop where you go plant trees, palm trees, they will go there, then they see they go gradually. Because when you say they go plant palm trees now, you will not say it will take a longer time. But while they go that process of planting the palm trees who will produce tomorrow a bigger bumper harvest, in between you go the GMC, you get this land. So these are the strategies. You are doing things based on your local side. The people in your local behavior, watching you the season and they do. Not to just for go take them, they after you don't put the strategy, the people in less day, they don't go show the half thing, cut yonder and come yonder. So it all comes down to how they preserve and conserve with culture. They want good cultures of agriculture and extensive farming where we're able to develop the people there. And I one day I hope them will pay attention there. The other one we're going to picture in terms of how they will try to conserve and remove all cultures they will not be help. The one way in the area of this one where they talk about this particular statistics. Because when they talk about these statistics, they mention about this Kobo toolbox. And when you look at the argument where the three people who been in radio democracy, you find out see they talk about civil registration, census illegal. They get Dr. Bright in the talk say, well, the thing here na a joke. All man get a name. Then the Richard say, oh, well, it's a scam. Then down there is oh, legal, accurate something. But now the census, then they can say the method what the statistics they use, now the Kobo tool. But again, when you go into this Kobo tool system, you go look say now the Harvard institution, what a kind of a collective university in America, be introduced this thing for in terms of humanitarians, in case of something when a crisis happen, in case of something when anything when a disaster or people that only work in a field, in case then go get connection problem, they not get data, they can even they offline, then they record the data. Then when they go online, that data is stored and be transferred. But the question was some of them they ask when they oppose inside, they say, well, if they do an inventory of this data, they can't inside because then they tell you initially say it locate you. Just like with the exams, some people they say whether they put 4 hours on this computer, if you don't do your work, the computer they seize. But a similar data system can take again, where they monitor you, where if you then at the ground, it work. That was the Indian they tell you initially, but now then they tell you it's in a code one and then use back. And the strategy they want to use, they will tell you about a different term where basically they call it the factor instead of they use the other word, they talk about something. So, but here is the issue of them ideas. I see. Then they know they tell we a good story. It's not about the efficiency of the thing. It's not about foresee enough for count. But when you see you jigsaw all the things they are together, because you're supposed to foresee the person. Then tell we say get GPS. That's why they may give them that source of that power bank. So the GPS they locate you where you there. Then you self where they go, they use that GPS from there. That's the way around. So you the Kobo now, they get them on easy and free access. When a tool, when they don't introduce. So, but you define out the system not in the flow because then the question is if them go check now how this data have been the flow because when you input data in any side, just like you input they show you the time where you input them. So now so you collect them, then later now you analyze them. So that now the area where some of them being questioned, like Dr. Richard say, if them go investigate now for see this period where this is when they count, the data it go see and sequence I'll say 10 o'clock, that man they put this data. 5 o'clock, even if they offline says according to the Kobo rule, the Kobo rule. But again, then it's always the people that they get data they get wife I didn't call them something will be look mobile for them. So it become complicated. Say, now the common tool they use, or they actually go into data system where I mean the Wi-Fi system where they actually give them be online currently for letting them be able to see, because they say the thing as they type and that's so even they can register directly at the central system. And if they can at the central system, it is true saying that the combo then go to use, but how it will can at the central system. But even if you not can the central, the question is the area, let us see how the sequence of this data they can inside before then do that accumulated number where they're able to forgive. Because there are a lot of issues them in statistics where they term this number, but here comes of waiting, then go able for tell we from something where they go keep will be okay and something where they bring will not to okay, because the digital it is quite good. The digital it will save you for type, it will save you errors, just like the one where they talk say back from that election where they been get problem headache with them. So they go for pull and they say, oh, pull this system, oh, go back to the old system. So but this way nobody not complaining about them. But there was technical issues with the people when they face that they know. But the area of assembling this number, now the question there. But being it is a very, very sensitive thing, I only hope, because this is nothing else now when the seriousness of it past any other thing. Why is it serious? Because this now in the determine now Uda na Udat. If at this time they all they hold each other, that one they knew they put a statement, then why they argue here? Well, we don't know if that is national and patriotism they work for let this election will be a peaceful one, wherein people are not going to argue. Not people are holding arms, that far from it, but the area where it will be peaceful, wherein you will get numbers them, because we don't see what even in comments, because they say comments only because people don't pull out say, una plan for Adianda, una plan for reduce yanda, una plan for do this. So, but if they plan to do this and then self not deny say we not plan to do this, well, you begin the question for say, is it something based on national development, or now waiting you don't do now you will let people and will pay you for, or you try for manipulate things with people and they see, but you they use the law when a kind of a constitution, when that constitution now we they use, but most of the time this constitution now you go find out say they get questions of area where you go say, well, the constitution is not competent or is not competent, or the constitution in duties them what they can put inside this institution, because the constitution it talk one thing and then the institution in function there when are the statistics international, but when they bring constitutional duties into an institutional function, you get to know how you draw the boundaries. So the issue here is constitutional duties and institutional functions. Now, in the problem, and that one day I hope them will try look, but because of all man don't look red eye for win, without only one for lose, it don't become attention. We don't know how. Then we don't go put face before, because UNDP at some point being aid them for delay for help them halfway. But the journey was very difficult, because at some point the money now wouldn't be don't estimate the part of funding use them for pay the people them in no come or other things them. So you see how the function of the people them who are part of the institution, they're not able to get their money wouldn't they get, even though they're not sub help them, then just can't like not to volunteer but can't back up. So you put your constitution inside the function, but when the thing they function, it function. Bonical one, even if I put them in caps, where the people and then they go there, the hungry one, and we don't go count, then come back, then they count, then come back, they not get the function, but only for let you go say, I get. It's I kind of want to use another word, but Lord, let's for another day. But it's actually not fair sometimes when constitutional duties like override institutional duties. For let only the poor man go suffer on the street, and look the hand really came and then they work out and they go protest every day. When I go say again, I'm not an answer. Then they complain and they go na statistics because when I get office day, this is something when I get for the look say we will get the numbers, no go change. we know that once like how they try for put 41 million inside the structure of the so-called land tenure system. Now that system then go say, well, instead of wasting when you don't put seriousness inside this. If an electronic system, one person put Mabuya and no sign, one person go, we impact the security, we put the money available, we put all these structures where EU be not even recommend we for say, I don't tell them they help we with for level we able to get with election because they don't suggest for we how many suggestions. Well before this, you see all these things been there. Some of them they accept. So when he always they bring out things that you know they try for get inclusive and look what it go reflect on national development for the peace and tranquility go there. Then you look back say, we'll get all the white paper under. We'll be get this TRC, total reconciliation. We'll try for fair name. No, we'll just go no more. We'll get the name of paper. Then when we come now, not to in the name of the people them. And then when the name of the people and they go, they go know one day, and when they know one day, they turn pounder. It's not fine because development is going every day. Now, I they always talk because development they go every day. And people and they become aware of things every day. It will reach a point. They might say 5 years, 10 years, but it will reach a point when there is no way to go because the hill what we don't create is so high that the one day when they come after one and a half be accountable, they are more forceful because you will get human rights with the kind inside. You will get all these kind of things because they say they go out now. They say they see them and they go back in and they go get them out and they go do outreach them for let them will still get human rights. And what are the human rights? The fairness of life. But I only hope some of these way when they conserve the cultures them and we lifestyle will be get, then will look of things and we useful we not to think them, we go pull we out. Then the one that we not useful, then remove them. Now the thing that we will bring come for seeing our development, when the kind side for we able for build up. But once those structures are not built in that way, they waiting would they do like departure from unfavorable policies. And their policies they don't look favorable. All the one they now will look favor now they will commodity, the one who will favor them, now their policies then they go they send the bring say no add to constituency, no we pull this, even before you yeah you see these things, we not go say they don't do so. Will they look out for a change so that then thing they say that they go bring one change land tell you, one change this. Not true. But what about una go change the attitude? Say when I do, I would set a precedent. Say this we are the pace setter and role model them. We all man go say then why yeah that they make this year change. But if then they say no more, now pay debts. Now so una self been do. Then they stop you now say not to show them where they do, not to that one they call me see and great democracy. They say no, not to that one they ask before. What thing them they do? Waiting una plan for do now, let we go before. Now that question will go for the accent. Waiting them plan for do, what will go before. Thank you very much for giving the platform. Let God help you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Usfriend.
Yeah, God bless you, sir. Yeah.
Yes, caller, it is live on here. Your name and side the call from, please.
Hello, Triple Nami.
Yes, you get 5 minutes.
Okay, I call from USA. I just want to do your analysis on the census. And thank you for giving me the opportunity. And I hope say nobody no go attack me. Please, at the big. I just give me your opinion. All man get right to opinion. In my opinion, I not feel say Femi, Claudius Cole, and Dr. Bright, they not get the audacity for even criticize the census because they were out there telling everybody not to go to let them not go register. Instead, be able to say, count me, no count me. My problem. You don't decide not to be counted, that's fine. You protest based on constitution. So which means you don't even care about the outcome because if I not go take an exam, I not accept a report card. So that nonsense, we the good do it just they make themselves stupid. They go say they go do a census, like say in a specialty and that. And me also, I not to doubt the counts in my opinion, because Freetown start from Orugu Bridge to Levuma Beach. Freetown are a very small land space. If you look at a land space, on one side, now the hills, on the other side, na the valley and the water. Now people in the foods for go be land. Apart from the slum areas, then Freetown not get any other land way left against step where Alexa if you want build, you go get space. And human being they improve. Some man we don't live in a Freetown, sometimes be the rent. Now you don't get money. You don't go be in Waterloo, you don't go be in Hastings, you don't go be in Jue, you don't go be in the Western Rural area. And they don't say where the war done done. Most people in back don't begin to turn back, go to the provinces because of man way things not there for it's not free to thing don't track, not all money for survive, so don't go upline. And also from when me know the eastern province is always very populated, even at the north Akomo. Migration they always happen from the north to the south and southeast. I know one day see southeasterners they move now the southeast to go to the northern province. The only time we see is southeastern and the northern province. Now job care and good. Now said better university than Makini, but before we became university, you can never see a southeastern and the northern province, if not to job, you go there as a medical doctor or DO in those days will be small. I not ever remember as a southeastern. And just go back to Ferry Junction. How many people would come on a lungi na lungi for can do business na Freetown or can work within the town back? People they come out for can school na Freetown. And people in back they come upline for kind find education as freedom because we not get this centralization. So man with school lock, as school locks will return back. I remember we be small, so brother when they from the college. The corner bus, the afternoon bus, and they even be there and freedom and don't turn back. So to me, I not feel see the census get problem. If they get issue with the census, make them go, na court. But for Candy, you know, participate, you the Fabi Claudia school, now you been the number one for the 10 people, they say make them not go vote, now you can't say cop. Now you don't even talk about you party self, all ten are cop. Why you not go just go join APC or join the cop, rather you just the fake party when you angry on a party, they say na party you did. If you're not responsible person like Sylvia Blind, you get all in bad tricks. But if you advise them, make them go register for vote. You don't protest as a leader, you confront, you challenge, you argue. So now me your contribution down the triple. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, caller.
Welcome.
Yeah. Everybody get rights to your opinion. Even me Tripoli, what are they talking to share a network talk? Na me your opinion. Yeah? So I think if we're able to tolerate other people's opinion and give your own fair argument. Yes, caller, ID live on here. You name and side the coffin, please.
Hey, this is Janet Matamusa
Oh,
here.
Janet, you get 5 minutes. Man.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I just want to respond quickly to this caller where they talk about Femi Claudio School and Dr. Dennis Brightner for criticize the census, the process. I mean, first of all, what we want for put on the table here is that when the census not been go through parliament not be endorsed them, and therefore all activities flowing from this census will be illegal, invalid. Period. That's the clear cut understanding. Whether they're in country, whether they're not country, they're saying that before the census they take place, if we don't lay na table, na parliament, then parliamentarians then agree upon them before process takes place. So therefore, if we want to not go far, it's just this whole process invalid. Period. That is that. So this caller, Femi Claudius Cole, has the right for criticize the government for not following processes. And the one thing we don't realize is this SNPP government, this Pauper government, not gonna respect for the constitution. This is a problem, you know. So the other thing I want to talk about very quickly before I come on, I am so is the idea. This whole conversation is ridiculous. And you in Facebook with people and they say free tongue for every country in the world, the city always going to be overpopulated because people are looking for jobs. They look for a better life, you know. And look like the QC in England, also they make fun. The barrister, Richard Honey. Richard Honey said, oh, well, if Freetown not become less populated, you go find out where we go and now the beach go clear, we go enjoy with it. He's just mocking the entire process, you know. So there is no excuse in somebody telling me that Freetown, well, this and that. No, the entire process flawed. That is that. This census not get no meaning. Therefore scrap them. Then I make the opposition therefore write letter to different organizations that will sponsor them. The World Bank and other financial institutions that will sponsor them for tell them say this is wrong and we're not going to accept it. That is all to it. And I mean, AAA, forgive me. 5 minutes not do for me for follow for cover all the areas. But I just want to make one thing clear about this lantern or business upline. What me I feel say this agricultural thing go do for the upline. It go make people get this rice business because we must say Rokupo, I don't know if that's how they pronounce that, but then get a rice hub, Makana Cambia we will not say yes, we be done the prosper and everything. So if they can go on the other side in the country, it is fine because waiting do instead of the land just there so the waste, may they use them, for plants, boku rest them, and that will let for the bring rest come outside of other countries, then we'll be able to do inside our own country there and get full food sufficiency and also get people employed. I mean, these are the areas that will be the faithful employment within the country. I can't say too much, but anyway, let's do this again very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Janet. Yes, caller, you did live on air. Your name and side call from, please.
Yes, Triple A, how are you? Auna Wunda, I call from New Jersey.
All right, sir. You can speak up a little.
I name Auna Wunda, I call from New
Yes,
Jersey.
Aruna, you get the platform 5 minutes.
Oh, yes, and thank you so much for giving the platform to play. First of all, I want to talk to the first caller where he started and called fine. He said, nobody attack him for his opinion. But at the end of in conversation, the end of attack, people that for their own right, for their own opinion. And so I not see that on the match. And so we want just talk say waiting we they see and waiting the politicians then they see not two different things. We all know say this censorship then do na political gimmicks now for political gain, and we all see how the jostle they be in a parliament, how they fed, how they cost. If they never get no other hidden agenda, they not for don't they go through all that process then they. And so we want to ask the government if this data, the 2015 data, we UNFPA say then credible. Now the most data, now the most census results than the salon ever produced 2015. Now that data the way SFP kind of power now in they use for introduce a free quality education. Now that data they use for plan, the midterm planning, the long-term planning. Now that data they don't use for the past 4 years, the census data, where they don't use. So how comes now we will get 1 year to election, they can't tell you say the data not credible, the data not correct. So with all this information where they be used for these past years, it's not correct. So now like they be the now money they be the poor. And that's what we just want to ask. And then as you go do data, I mean, I go do a census, you can admit say people they not agree commode. And people that not agree commode, make you count them. And then you go ahead for produce a figure when a fragmented number we get for use. We say that for the country, you come and say that the people's census, but the people that not come up from you count them. And at the end of the day, you go manufacture a number for can use them for a national development. How that get for work? So if you go count 100 people in a place, when 300 people in the day, you go use 100 number figure from plan for that community today. How that they get for work? And so now that's now we question what they ask. How if the registration can come on and say this census report not correct? What thing they get for do? Because they start registration after 2 months from now. So that's just now your contribution AAA. I just ask question. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, caller. Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and side call from, please.
Yeah, Triple A, this now, CC Alpha, they call from Canada.
Yes, CC Alpha, you get 5 minutes, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. At least today, the one pot show is really, really warm. I don't know if you add pepper for the show, but the show is really good. I get 2 points where I want to make mention on. The one at the World Bank grant where they approved for Ministry of Lands, and then the outcome of the census. Yeah, you see, honestly speaking, I can always tell people them, even in other shows, them why they contribute. Until and unless we always try to put politics in development, then we'll not go see changes in Sierra Leone. We don't need World Bank money for structure the Ministry of Lands. We don't need World Bank support for make things run fine at the Ministry of Lands. When you get people away know their job, when they sabi their job, we know to compensate them, they compensate them, put them in a position because of their role, or they don't play for the political party kind of power. Honestly speaking, with it, then they perform well. But when you get party politics in Sierra Leone, where if you not perform or you not help the party for kind of power, they not they give you position, whether you qualify or not qualify. Now the results that they get so. I can tell anybody, even World Bank puts $100 billion, still yet people in land paper they will still inside Ministry of Lands, they not agree sign up. So we not need donor money for structure MDS there. We are all get the right people at the right place. We know their job. We study in their field and then we get results. If you check, I could remember the former Minister of Lands. He not do anything related to lands. I think now an economist, but you go put her at Ministry of Lands as a minister for that matter. So what you expect? The outcome will never be positive, because that's not what the person is specialized on. So, like I say, they may not say we'll get different customers, we'll get different landlords them in Sierra Leone. But the minister may don't go on radio, say Western area, nobody know own land. You know, it gets a lot of fabrications the way it make, because they know what's inside the land policy system. You know, sometimes I don't know if in a prayer we need all na radical inclusion or change we need, because people are not deal pray for Sierra Leone. Even though they out, people are still they pray. We still they pray for like changes take place. But sometimes again, prayer back, if we not put action behind this prayer, and if you say something will happen. The other thing I want for talk about now with the outcome of this census, like how they say again, we see politics now don't take control over Sierra Leone. This one caller, they say, if you want Femi Claudius Cole, let go na the court. Interesting for make that kind of statement then they. Who is controlling the court system in Sierra Leone? It's the government of the day. So you can't fight them with the court system. No way. Remember, I think I don't make this program here. The judiciary not independent, and we will never get clear a wrong case when the judiciary not independent. So even if they want to all the political party they take this case to go to court, because the court system is being controlled by the president. I'll tell anybody, I will give reason the way to make they say so. I mean, don't say this the last time. Who that they sponsor the court, who that they give the court money, now the government. When they make them budget, if the government not approve and then they suffer. So at the end of the day, the governments of the day still they control many, many things. So that make people go kill themselves for no more than win presidency in the country. Because you don't say when you don't win presidency, you don't control everything in Sierra Leone. You hire and fire anybody who you want. Some of them laws here need to be changed in our constitution. Now that made the other time, I mean, they call say constitutional reformation very, very much important in that country. But honestly, if we pull politics, this census and officer and they rush them at this time. Forever in the history of Sierra Leone, you know, the census reports come out and people doubt them. How would you say the population of Freetown they decline? And you have people who are so dishonest, they come on social media, they go on a radio station, they justify that act there. Log on the Bo, log on the Kenema. And I show you side people and they sleep in the streets in Abo and Kenema. Go na Freetown, let's see if you don't see people sleep na streets. You know, sometimes God will hold people accountable for the destruction of that country because we are politically linked, politically connected. So anything we politicians they do, one for support them. And mind you, some of them politicians there, they are not experts. Some are not even who say them put up for lay perform. You don't even get any idea there. But because in political affiliation, I make them in a position. Then we they support them, not true, not that's not that day. How you go say Madam from your school for going to court? Well, very well, you know, say the court system not clear. You very well know say for when any case they go to court, the courts they choose who they call. The same thing to the ACC man. And they pick and choose who they call. So a lot they happen until we pull politics, and they say this over and again. Until we put politics in the face of Sierra Leone or in the face of development, we will never see sustainable development. Lastly, somebody they make mention of the changes or the development the way these governments do. For we when are experts in development studies, for me, I would define them and I get right to my opinion. Now more of theoretical and development. Now in theories we dey see them, then change life alone. Outside day, now per theory day. Yeah, then do what's it? All the changes where they talk now more of theoretical changes. They affect the layman at the streets. They change the life of the people in this country. Say today we get blackout. Say today WhatsApp na problem. Say today good road na problem. Then yet still we see somebody they jump in, they say these governments are the best governments ever in the history of Sierra Leone. Posterity will hold some people one day. God bless you, Tripoli.
Thank you very much, Alpha. Let's call ID live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
Oh, this is not Mike. I call from Philadelphia.
Yes, Mike, you get 5 minutes, sir.
Today, you know what I remember? I just remember Lawrence Fox. He said, "Hey, Salone." Well, man, party picking or party picking. No matter whose partner the country we come on, south, east, west, now party picking. Sierra Leoneans, it's time we begin think about development. Okay? Me, I don't even want to learn and worry about these sensors again. Now, only fool man they do sensors, we not do nothing inside 4 years. What's kind of development where they bring car after 4 years, we not do nothing. Now you want to bring development car? I'm not stressing on ourselves, man. I'm not stressing ourselves over the sensors at all. Now sensors will not make no sense. A complete fool man there. Complete fool man there. Develop no side. They go make sensors for do waiting. What are the sensors for? For go develop Kenema. Develop Kenema inside 4 years, but you want to develop after the sensors. No, tonight, man. I'm a fool man there. A fool man there when I don't vote for so, yeah? I will just for can't thief no more in common at that country. I no more than they for. And the NEPA now, they don't tell them the thief for 4 years then the thief, 30 then the thief. Yeah? Ben Kefala, I want to ask Ben Kefala, what's in your own job na salon bar? All this corruption they go on 30 they not catch nobody. What's the problem? A teacher they no more than they sabi fen teacher they sabi fen exam people eh. Where you dominion people get fake degree in that country, you know they fen there. A teacher they people who take exam na they want sabi fen eh. You a scorpion squad. Well, you make free money, they make free money in that country, there, man, and they tell you, man, free money. Then they eat free money. Solomon, man, if you not wise up, man, if you not wise up, we begin put the right people in the right place and develop with country, with young country. Instead, follow them party picking, party politics they are, and develop, put Salon first. If we not continue to do that one, we go left behind, we die. And grand picking and back go left behind and die. That's also party business. Nobody know they think for the country and go on before. All man just party. Now President Bioka he say he do Toma bomb right. Say to the rest no come in at Toma bomb. He say they build hospital for we. The money we Ben Kefala don't collect. He say they build hospital. Say today 1 block no not see it and put in that hospital. It's 1 block. Man, man. The opportunity where Solomon give them for let them change the country. They know you do it instead 4 years. Now sensors, now they can't use for change anything. Man, I'm not a fool, man. If I vote for it again after this 4 years, after these 5 years, when I vote for it again, when I all a fool, man, in another country. Yeah? And I'm your contribution, Andy.
Thank you very much, Mike.
All right.
Yes, call ID live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
Hi, hello, I'm Triple A. This is Mohammed. I come from New York.
Yes, you
A
get
quick
5
question
minutes.
I want to ask. Yes, sir. The question where I want to ask, out of all within IMF they see as a problem now with country, they only see saying that the Latino system not the problem. We get electricity problem. Why they not go help we for more we try for spend so much into electricity for let we get a country? Because without electricity, we'll never get a country. We'll never develop. So why they not go able try for law we get something in electricity? The last one for way I want to say is the censor, the opposition at this time they want. So they succeeded for me to skew the numbers them. Because if you go against the censor, it means you're not supporter in the beginning, So if it come out, the legitimacy enough for the day. So now that's not the thing where the opposition then do. And me, to my opinion, they succeed in doing that. For me, then everybody begin to question the numbers then. So now me all that no more our my own contribution. That thank you very much for everything.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and also the call from, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ibo. This is Ahmed, the call from UK.
Ahmed, you go speak up small, yeah?
Yes, please. All right. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to tell you, thank you again, for this wonderful program. Actually, I've been in line with the previous speakers, except sometimes some of the critics, the way they try to politicize some of the issues here, we get back home. Anyway, um, I just want to begin with the census. And just like the previous speakers here, this one will not get for taken down to what's political line. More look at the development of the country. And more to put the people, the poor one in first. We all know, we all see, and we all hear it when these governments come and watch them propagate and how they, talk to the people then, the plans then, the manifesto, whatever they don't know, them plan, and so everyone was happy initially, despite of, we after the election, we see that, this is a new government and let's see what they can do, So at least along the line, look what happened. Nothing absolutely, nothing. There's nothing this government can talk about. What's not the census? What's a census? We say the essence of a census. Because I can imagine when we're small, probably I'll be counted, back home. The census, the essence of counting people for making wherever you need to develop, whatever development you need for doing in certain areas, where you need schools and hospitals, all of these things. But nothing like that. We don't see anything. So from the onset, from when these people start to propagate this census, they want to bring and come in. There's a row in between the political parties then and other, NGOs then, civil society movements then. So but they still go ahead and doing this thing. Actually some of we may have been much critics about in this government since when they start doing all this parliamentary reshuffling and some other issues then. Now we start to see the game. And up to today, we not even go inside. All of them plans of developing agriculture, like the last speaker, the previous speaker said, one of the speakers said, research station. When you study agriculture, then we tell you about this research station before, and we see the progress of it by then. Today, we have these lands are still there. Some of the tractors back then, maybe 30 or 30 years back or so, they're still like skeletons. There's need for improvement. We have the land. We have the land. Sierra Leone, if only we empower the people, the local farmers, to develop them into loan scheme and encourage them, maybe we will not protect rights outside Sierra Leone. But how? Okay, let's forget about the previous government. Let's say they failed. Okay, a new direction comes in to play. But where are they taking us? Talk about rice farming, where this president may say, we see an farm in the Cham Concuba. I not say anything. Nothing absolutely. It's sad. Maybe they play the minds of the people then they play with real mindsets so much that we just become disgruntled, so don't disgusted about the whole thing. Because how can a few elites, few people that they struggled outside the country before, they kind of part of the world, today they are back home, hoping that they go initiate ideas and they go initiate development and see how we progress. Look, are we today? We are. It's sad, AAA. It's sad with these people and with what they go on. We can't imagine other countries within the sub-region. What's in Gambia gets? You don't hear about them chop corruption, business, and they have been any anti. I love to see Gambia get anti-corruption. They be like, I don't live there for years, but I'm not sure if any of them didn't do that. Now, that dimension, they trample you. into the now we don't say corruption day everywhere, but Sierra Leone today is the order of the day. You know, you are taking teachers, you are not solving the problem where the source, the problem is from. Then you want for say they not will take bribe police. Now look at the salary, look at the salary scales there, look at what in African Express they reveal and other people. Look what will happen today. Top hierarchy, top elite, they still getting money. The poor ones are struggling. You know, we need for actually, you know, we need for marshal people them. And let, we really tell you that thank you. You and others, people who they portray their ideas on social media. This make people once more we stand up. And then we see how the way we develop. Overall, don't say not to business and this. No, we get few people there where they can hold the country as ransom. Then the people are suffering. Then the suffering will meet some of us because some of us we know the population and the family we have, and then we know what we can do. So we don't go for sit back and relax. No. We're gonna fight and we do it in the better way so that the country will be, you know, free of, you know. Now that's how we take. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very
God
much,
bless you.
caller. Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and who said the call from, please. Yes, caller on the US line.
Yes, Triple A. Good evening, my brother.
Yeah, you get 5 minutes.
Okay, I just want to tell you thank you for this your wonderful program. At least let God continue for strengthening you. At least for the educatory on waiting they happen now in beautiful country. You know, I just want to talk small on this census issue. It really unfortunate. You know, waiting actually they go on. There with politicians they're not really be honest with we. Because some of we believe say we get with constitution when are the guide the norms for any government and the institutions them. But it don't they look like say this particular regime at least then disappoint me because we dey expect highly from them say when this man come he will able to change a lot of things. But it seems like really unfortunate. Which will be the expect not when we they see. You see, it don't they do from the one when they come into governance. It just they bypass all the rules them. Anything so far we concern about consultation. And completely they agree. And completely they against. You know that particular that particular word day. Of course, in democracy, you understand, consultation is very key. Yeah, because there are certain things, you know, when you want pass. At least if you got for need the other people and the oppositions, you know, because that's a part of governance. But here is a case, everything bulldoze. You see, now the problem is even this census from the one, everybody, you understand, we need census because at least now for a development purpose. But from the one, the way how they do the processes, we don't they read, you know, audios them, write-ups them, for sitting guard and all go through the processes them. You see, so now you bring out something, you understand, we not we not cover the whole country. You know, you see the cry everywhere. Everywhere people in the cry for say no, this thing, the result that we come out. It looks like now some children they don't plan. Whether people can be accept them or not, this will be their own agenda where them they get. You understand? Because one of the things where you want to do them kind of thing, especially for political reason, now the population, because now they determine the number of the constituencies them. You see, so when you increase your own stronghold, there's a tendency for you forget plenty seats them. You see how the thing go now. These places they outside them feel say a lot of the stronghold they reduce. So you know people are not full again.
with the help of this social media and some other, people when they come out, they talk, at least don't they help? You see, so just the call on in the president, if at least in a listening president, this are the time this, at least for make it save that country day. Because no one go again, you understand, into those days. And that do me, I do you. Now ain't done they too much. Oh, they will be doing the last time. Oh, we say for come. So how long ago they panda one day? You see, and look at the countries there where we all be getting same civil issues they are. Now they said in the progress like Rwanda. So we up till now we still there, we still stagnate. It's so sad. So just they ask at least in the president at least for make himself listen this time round and do the right thing. Let the institutions them, themselves rise above. You see, but it's so rather unfortunate. So at least you, as an independent institution with the header, if you want kind into politics, resign from that area. They come into the politics. Nothing no wrong, nothing no wrong. But if you're not a professional, at least do a professional job. You see, but rather unfortunate, we unprofessional in another country. They all don't take side. Most of them don't take side. Because if somebody they push you for do the wrong thing, at least yourself, based on your own profession, you get that right for come out. You resign. You see, this is not integrity, but it's so heart rendering about the bookman them or the one that will hold position at that country. It really heart rendering. So let God sorry for our country. I thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you very much, Kola. It's like a way of life for people. What about whose institution they first and salary clean? Who side in Taika na they eat? God help us. Because it's like a way of life. And the way of life, inside sports, for the padiem, under football, soccer, I beg. And the other man want for the. Then all the other one then they struggle. Boxing, the athletes them, all the struggle. I tell no, you not yet for suitcase. No, now they pass for suitcase for man. But I think all man go to your suitcase because the suitcase they look different. Until you know how the last one be turned out for, when they say all man cow the suitcase them back. Okay. We know about suitcase yet. We dey wait, but we dey wish them luck. Best of luck. We go there now for stream on Thursday. I think game day on Thursday and on Saturday. Ooh. We go there now for showcase am. But Salon now also be pull drink pa Nigeria. Yeah. Talk can. I mean, I still do my pusade, but I need to talk right now because I can talk no more. And you want bully me. No, so. Alright. 4 hours, so don't try. Now so go lock the door out. Go there back on Monday. Make sure you rest well. For rest. Tell like to keep you. This guy know the rest. But you rest well. Rest for me. Yeah? And we go there back on Monday. Tomorrow, you know say doctor can go live, eh? So took a cage with the discoveries. Till we meet again on Monday. People say, Tata.